What's it like to perform here in the Chapel Royal?
It's wonderful to perform here because it is the Chapel Royal at Hampton Court.
That must be just like taking yourself back 500 years, really.
Well, for us here at Hampton Court, there's a special connection in the 21st century to be singing in this space the music written by our predecessors. Music played an important part in the social aspect of the court, in terms of secular music, songs which were being sung in the court, and of course here in the chapel as well. Secular music was sung or performed outside the chapel or church. The texts would have concerned love, and they would have been accompanied by a lute or on the virginals. If you're coming to sacred music, then that would have been accompanied primarily by the organ. This organ dates from 1710, but there was an organ here before this current instrument. Text would have been in Latin, whereas for secular music, the text would have been in English.
So more readily understood by those listening?
Absolutely, yes.
Did Henry VIII compose music? It's often said, of course, erroneously, that he composed Greensleeves.
It is said that he composed Greensleeves. I think there's another tune he composed, Pastime with Good Company.
Certainly he enjoyed music, we know that much.
Oh yes, he was a very fine musician. He himself played. Quite a few of his wives played as well, and that was an important part in Henry being attracted to those ladies.
That they had to be cultured and, have the same interests.
Absolutely, yes, yes.
What about his daughter, Elizabeth I? She was quite a talented musician.
She was a musician. If I'm not mistaken, she played the virginals, but she was herself quite accomplished, yes, certainly.
I think what's quite interesting about Elizabeth is that as an unmarried sovereign, she was very conscious of her reputation. And so I've heard that when the rest of the court were making merry at Christmas, actually she would spend an awful lot of time here in the Chapel Royal at worship and seem to pride herself on that.
That, I think, shows her spiritual commitment, as it were, to her role as monarch.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do we know of any notable events here in the Chapel Royal during the Tudor period?
I think two important events are Jane Seymour's death and Henry's son's baptism, Edward, and that was marked by elaborate ritual and procession of bishops and lords into the chapel, and the choir sang a Te Deum, apparently.
That would be in keeping, wouldn't it? It was a real celebration for Henry. At last he had a son.
Absolutely, yes.
How often would the monarch have worshipped here?
Services were held here daily, but the monarch would only have come to services on very important occasions.
And was the Chapel Royal here renowned for its music?
Yes, it was renowned for its music. Some of the greatest composers were employed by the Chapel Royal. William Byrd, Thomas Tallis.
I have read somewhere that the choir was expected to do more than just sing.
From what I understand, the choristers were employed as child actors in Elizabethan times. That certainly did happen.
So there's a nice crossover between their role here in the Chapel Royal and then the wider entertainment of the Tudor court.
Absolutely.
The choir today employs men and boys as it did in the Tudor version of the choir.